Joe, how are you?
Hey, Gail. I'm doing good.
I want you to...
Doing well.
You're doing well?
Yes.
You look well.
Thank you.
Tasting.
Tasting.
Walkthrough. Can you tell me a little bit about tasting?
How I taste coffee, the way I taste, why I taste coffee, the way I taste coffee. So...
Because you're Joe.
Because I'm Joe, exactly. Super taster at large,
He has
at least in Portland.
He has a background too.
I do.
Yeah.
So that background is actually what allows me to taste coffee how I do. It's that mindfulness I brought up in that first cup of Joe was all about asking the question why I'm tasting what I'm tasting, what I'm tasting. Do I like this? Don't I like this? It's opening up the channels in the brain to explore deeper.
Are there coffees you don't like?
Yes, there are a vast number of coffees I don't like.
We won't mention it.
Sounds good. We'll edit that out in post, folks. So the brain works off of association, and especially with taste. That's all it is. You eat something new, your brain says, what does this taste like? Oh, hey, it tastes like that.
Tastes a little bit like something I had last week.
Everything tastes like chicken. That's what it is. It's very chickeny coffee.
Frog's legs, the whole deal, yeah.
It's association. So we need to build the associative muscles in the brain and train our brain to break down that generic coffee flavor into manageable chunks that allow us to pull out those taste profiles. So it's all about being mindful of what you're eating instead of what you're drinking, for that matter.
So too often we just gulp it down, whatever it is, food, drink, whatever, and we go, yeah, good. And then we're on to something else, or we're emailing while we're doing it. We're not really being mindful of what we're tasting or eating or drinking.
By letting the food you are ingesting, the liquids you are imbibing, become your world, you will build more associative muscle in your brain.
Interesting.
And allow it to, it will extrapolate, it will translate. You can go to the grocery store and pick up a beautiful Fuji apple. Smell it, like, say, this is a Fuji apple, and try it. And just enjoy the experience of eating a Fuji apple.
And then put it back down and don't...
You rotate it at 90 degrees so no one sees it.
Like the chocolate in the box, you know. Yeah.
And by helping to build that association with Fuji apple, next time you have a coffee that has flavor molecules in it that are reminiscent and similar in structure to those in the apple,
you're going to associate
your brain will go, this doesn't taste like coffee, this tastes like coffee and that apple. Wow, I can taste apple in my coffee, where before you never could because you didn't have the language to know that it tasted like an apple.
Interesting. So, you mentioned earlier you had a background.
Yes.
I'm thinking it might be with the police department for lifting fruit at the grocery store. Right? Poster.
Exactly, yes.
The whole deal from here up, you know, with the number. Yeah,
Yes.
I could see that coming. Well, thanks, Joe. I mean, that really, you know, I'm going to have to try some of this because I'm not a super taster like you are. I don't pick up on the little nuances. I mean, I'm better than I used to be. But
and the more you work on it, and the more you talk about it, the more language you develop towards being able to taste further.
Yeah, I can see that it's worked really well for you. He has a baking background, so tasting chocolates and all that.
What I do.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Thank you,
Appreciate the tips. And hey, I got a tip for you. Sign up to our YouTube channel, huh? You know, you'll get all kinds of information. You might have fun with us. You get to see who's doing what on our channel.
Watch us slurp coffee and enjoy it.
Maybe a donut with it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So subscribe.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.